record. Okay, perfect. So there's a couple of things that I want to share. A couple of things that I see that folks actually don't use so much. I think are always quite interesting. And then a library app, just because I think it's a particularly useful one. So the first one is table analysis. So lots of users store data in Tulip tables, of course, because it's very good. A lot of data records can be accessed from different apps, can be accessed from the tables API. Really, it's a powerful thing. But one thing that oftentimes people don't remember is that you can actually build analyses on top of tables. So this, for example, is a simple analysis that displays, that basically takes the sum of column quantity here and organizes it by a week. So, it's good to know, okay, this is how many work orders I'll have, or whatever it is, how many individual items I'll have. So it's good to kind of break it down and get a good visibility. So all you have to do is select the table that you want to map in your analysis to, create your x-axis, your y-axis. Here we're just the quantity. If you want to add a comparison, so you can like stack up multiple charts and whatnot, a date range. So this is basically takes from the if you see here, it takes from the created date. So that's an important thing to bear in mind. And then you can add filters, and it's just kind of like the same way that if you would do a regular analysis for an app or for a machine. It's the same way, except that this is for a table. So same concept. To create a brand new one, you go over to dashboards, scroll way down, click add chart, and navigate over to table. And then here's where you can create it. So, you can just select any table that you have in your instance, click create analysis, and you'll see, so actually this is good that this one comes up, because depending on the data that's available in your table, you get different analyses that can be created. So this table here, cycle times, doesn't have a number column, so it doesn't show it up. Whereas if, for example, not all the available analysis types show up. If, on the other hand, I come here and I scroll all the way down to work orders and I click create new analysis, you will see that now, because this table work orders has all these different types of columns, we can select from any of these templates that we'd like to select. So for example, I just click one operation, again, date range, I need to switch it over to all time. And then here you can just start creating the analysis again, like you would, whether it's an app or a machine analysis. It's exactly the same way, but it's just good, I think, because again, tables can be used to store a lot of data. So it's good to know how to build analyses on top of this. Cool. So actually, any questions on that before I move on?
One quick question, Gio. When you create an analysis in the different apps, and then you want to copy those apps for a different product, would I be able to, is it going to copy also those analysis that I created in the analytic?
I'm not sure. I don't believe so, but let me text. Off the top of my head, I don't believe. One of
the question I had with Viraj, and he wasn't sure if that's going to happen.
Yeah, we can test it out. So if we
and actually, he suggested me to talk to you that maybe you guys like to sort of like add that.
Yeah. So are you saying here, for example, now that this app here, office hours, 9th August,
exactly.
If you click here and duplicate it?
Yeah, you create whatever you want here. But my question is that when you copy this whole app for a different product, I don't think it carries those analysis.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. So I know it's something that's very important, because also for, are you familiar with the Tulip library? Have you used any apps from the library?
I'm familiar with it, but
Yeah.
rarely.
Yeah, so I can definitely check and let you know. Let me take a note to update you, but I do think that it's I do think that it's coming because again for the live, yeah, it doesn't come along right now when you duplicate an app.
Yeah, I figured.
But
yeah,
but I think it is in progress, but I will check and let you know on that.
sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And actually, while I'm here, let me check if in community there's already a topic about this. Let's see. Oh, you see, there's already a. Yeah, there's already one in here. So you know, Ishmael, now we have the voting topic. You see here, you can basically assign your vote to a specific product suggestion. So here, Eric Singer was suggesting importing analytics when migrating apps. He's synced to a different server, but this is what you're mentioning. So I can come in here. I'll send you. Where's the chat? Here it is. I can send you the link to this post.
All right.
Yeah, and if you can just vote on it and leave a comment maybe as well, that would be great. But I will also mention it internally.
Yeah, when was it dated? January 25th? Okay.
Yeah, January 25th this year. Yeah, and hey Dave, hey Jordan.
How's it going?
Hey, pretty good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Good, yeah. So we're just sharing table analytics now. But so the other thing that I wanted to share is this you can embed. So I think it's a very useful way to basically extend your apps. So essentially what embedding iframe widgets allows you to do is basically embed another web-based tool within your apps. So in this example here, I basically have a Google Doc loaded up that you can see here, simple, but you know, there's lots of cases and you can actually interact with the doc. So in the actual, it's also updating what's happening here. And I think there's, I mean, I will mention that a lot of websites don't allow to be embedded. So it's not like you can use it on any website, but many do allow them to be used. And it's useful, you know, for a simple thing like embedding a Google Doc. If there's for some reason a Google Doc that has information that you need to embed in your app, you can do it. But also, you know, you can do stuff like this. So what we're doing here is we're taking a user input, whatever the input, click get QR code, and it creates a QR code here. So now this is also available native within Tulip, so that it works out of the box. But you can also come in here. Basically, you'll see that this is it's the widget, the web page widget, and I'm displaying the QR code variable, and the QR code variable is being created here when I press this button. So I say, okay, data manipulation store, and then I basically store the entire URL for this web page plus the input, that's whatever the user inputs, into this variable QR code. So again, of course, if I come in here and just update this, and if I were to scan this with anything that can scan a QR code, it will read out 1, 2, 3. So to embed the web page widget, and you can see here, actually, let's open up this Google Doc, new tab. So you see, it's a very standard Google Doc that all you need to do is change sharing settings, of course, because it needs to be embedded. So you can just click on the share and then just make it available to other folks. And then from in here, you can just navigate over to embed and then web page. So I will mention that this is not available by default. So if you are interested in having this feature, just send me a note and I can enable it for you. But then once you do enable it, you know, you can just put the URL in here, again, whether it's fixed, like it is in this case for the Google Doc, like it is here for the QR code, doesn't matter. It was the same way. Okay, any questions on this? By the way, have folks already used this this functionality? Okay.
Yeah, I've never used it at like the embed at like a super high level.
Okay. Yeah, you have it available in your instance?
No, but I think maybe I'm confusing it with the another functionality. But I've definitely tried to put some pages in, like to strap in. But sometimes though, like I feel like now websites you always need to log in. Like they'll have some authorization, and so that will kind of be a stopgate. Typically, is like, oh, you're not logged in to the embedded website or something. So that's kind of the stop there.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Like I was saying, for the Google Doc, you do need to come in here and change the sharing settings and make it publicly accessible, which of course there is a risk to that. So, it depends on the use case and what the document, information that the document contains and whatever. But yeah, that's definitely one of the risks.
Yeah, and I think I'm confusing it with embedding web page. Is that?
No, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's the one.
When you asked if it was in my instance, I was like, "Is it in my instance?" So never mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. But yeah, I think there's lots of interesting things that can be built with it. So I think it's oftentimes if you see like, oh, there's Tulip has a lot of widgets available, but if there's something that some other information is stored in some other system or whatever it is, it's always good to kind of have that available as an option. Again, something like analyses, like you can do them in Tulip, of course, but also if you use like a Power BI or like some other dashboarding tool, it's good to have the ability to embed it into your web page, into your app.
Gio, that's I was trying to use it a couple months ago to embed like a third-party dashboard, but yeah, ran into that it wasn't shareable or embeddable.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's a bit frustrating. It's so for example, like google.com/maps, I think it's the URL. Yeah, this is I just wanted to show this because some websites, for example, that I assume the one that you're describing, Jordan, doesn't allow to be embedded. So this is what is generated. So that's a bit unfortunate. Because there's lots of things that would be useful, but for security reasons, websites sometimes don't allow themselves to be embedded. Okay, cool. And then the last thing that I wanted to share is this. It wasn't the last release. It came out I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I think it's quite interesting. We haven't covered it. It's the Google Calendar unit test. And basically, as you can see, it allows you to create or connect your Tulip app to a Google Calendar to view, create, update, or delete events. You can also filter and view multiple meetings. So if you have like a scheduling use case or something that you need to basically go in and interact with a Google Calendar that you use for whether it's like, whether you use a Google Suite to manage like personal calendars or like resources. So if you have like, you need to book assets. So whether it's a machine, it's a workstation, whatever it is, you manage that through the Google Calendar. You can come in here and you have all these functions available once you install your app. So you can create an event for multiple users, create an event for a single user, recurring event, and of course, each one has different inputs. So for example, for it to create a recurring event, I won't do it now because I don't have all this information offhand, but if you had like calendar, actually, you know what, I can probably, let me see, get filtered events maybe. Let me see this. If, for example, I put in my email and I say, okay, start it today and end tomorrow, 1 Yeah, so they're not coming in, but yeah, that's but yeah, oh man, I was using the wrong ID. But basically, you get the point. You can kind of interact with Google Calendar, so read or write events to help manage, you know, things like resources, personal calendars, you know, machines, or things that you manage through your Tulip apps, or you need information from your Tulip apps. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
One use case I've seen for this, and this is why I'm definitely here today, is people, they book vacation time, they book PTO, and I can see on Google Calendar, like, hey, this person's on vacation this day. And we're trying to have that affect kind of the dynamic capacity of operators. So typically, let's just say we have 10 operators, but someone has PTO on Tuesday. And so Google knows that they're not going to be there on Tuesday. So instead of saying, hey, on Tuesday, we have 10 operators that can produce 100 minutes of labor, we're actually only going to have 9. And so therefore our capacity is 90 minutes of labor. And so that's what I've been trying to, I'm hoping that this can help me make that connection.
Yeah.
But I think I just have to learn a bit more.
Yeah, no, it's a really good use case. I think it's, yeah, I mean, PTO is a good one, but also if, like, you know, you're somehow, like, if, you know, they're organized, like if your team is organized in different groups and, like, you know, you shift around the different groups, like you retraining and stuff like that, and all that is managed in Google Calendar, I think it's really valuable to get that information into Tulip. That's a great use case. Yeah. But yeah, have you already installed this app, by the way?
No, yeah, I'd like to maybe learn a bit more, or I think I just have to kind of unpack it a little further. I see this. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll look this one up in the library, always at the library.
Always at the library, yeah. Yeah, I can send over the link to the app. But so it comes, yeah, it comes with, you know, I'll open up the unit test. So this is one of those apps that come with a connector pre-built and a unit test app that allows you to test all the functions. So this is what it looks like for this app here. So if you open it up, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, so here, basically, these are actually not all the functions, but this is a list of some of the functions that are available. So you can just, first of all, list all the calendars that you have available in your Google suite. Then you can get a specific calendar. So this would be useful. For example, if you, so you start off by getting everyone's calendar and you want to see who's on PTO, you can get the list of all the specific calendars. You can also create them. So if, you know, you want to record PTO from Tulip and send it to the Google Calendar, you could do that using this function, which, yeah, it just basically runs the whole connector function, passing in whatever the user's input in the app. But this is, yeah, I guess I got one step ahead of myself, because the first thing to do is to actually authenticate it. And it uses a similar to what you use, Dave, with NetSuite. So it uses the OAuth 2.0. So the same system you'll have to implement for this. But it's actually not too hard. I mean, you can come in here into the connector details, edit the headers, and then put in all this information. And I think in here, this is probably Sagar. I think he explains how it works. Yeah, it's Sagar. But I would definitely get started with installing it and starting to create the connector details. Okay, awesome. So that's this library app. Yeah, I think it unlocks lots of interesting use cases. So it's pretty interesting to know about. Are there any other questions that folks had? Ishmael, I know you mentioned earlier that you had a couple that we can help out with.
Yes, please. Hopefully, I think for you, it's going to be a quick one. Basically,
we'll see.
I'm adding a couple of buttons to my app.
Yep.
If I can share my screen, I can show it
Oh,
to
yeah.
you. Help me out on
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
Thank you. Do you see my screen now?
Yep, we got it.
Okay.
This is a Google Calendar. You can get all this information into Tulip app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here is the app that I developed, and basically we are adding glue to these fenders on this robot.
Okay.
But we want to make sure the operator keeps it for 24 hours before comes back and start using it. In other words, to leave it to be cured for 24 hours.
Okay.
My question is basically, excuse me, basically is that I created this button so he can push this button. That means starting that 24 hours. Then put it aside and then come back after 24 hours and hit this button. And if he hit this button earlier than 24 hours, he must not be able to sort of like get advanced forward on this app. And
Okay.
it has to be complete 24 hours. So can you help me on the triggers for these buttons?
Yeah, for sure. And will this app, just to confirm, you want this stored in a table, like in multiple?
Yes, exactly. Yes. I have actually, I have this table created, and I called it.
Oh wait, yeah.
I called
you're
it
in the
glue cure time.
Okay, no, but my question was, sorry, is there like, can multiple robots be drying at the same time?
Okay, that's a good question. He has to do it like 10 of them, 10 of what you see in front of you on the screen. So I guess for these batch of 10, since we don't have a particular serial number for it, for a batch of 10, he can just take care of it with this app.
Okay, that's perfect. So this app will just be dedicated to those 10. And then once those 10 are done, he'll move on to the next one. He or she will move on to the next one.
Can you suggest a way to do it for each one? I doubted you would be able to, because they should be all separated with like either serial number or something, correct?
Yeah, right. So that's what I was going to say. Do each of these have a serial number tied to it that you can reference back?
Not at this point, not at this stage. No, they don't.
None of this stage. Okay. So in that case, it's a little bit hard, just because we would need a way to identify it, which one they're trying to scan out. But if they have a serial number, you could basically very simply just in a table say, okay, this is a serial number. This is when the curing started. And then when they go to try to pick up that one at the end, you can load up that serial number and say, okay, when did it start? Was it before 24 hours? If yes, let them continue. If tell them, wait, you need to wait X more minutes.
Right. Now, how about work order? Can we use a per work order?
Yeah, you have the work order at this point?
This is a new product. We don't have it, but can we assume just any number, let's say for now?
Yeah, if you want to do that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, can we do it? And then I will just go ahead and edit that.
Okay, yeah. So if you navigate over to apps and then tables, and if you can open this in a new tab, if you can open it in a new, oh yeah, okay. So you can create a new one. So you can say, for example, create table, and you can say curing times.
Any descriptions?
No, no, no. I think it's okay without it. Okay, now if you go down, and here it is, if you open it up. Yep, so the ID, so this is where the work order will go. That's great. And then we'll add another one, yes, in here, which will be date time. Yeah, and this will be QR start time. Okay, and then another one for curing end time. Okay, perfect. Now that we have this, now we can go back into the app. So if you click the back button a couple of times. Yeah, but click back again. Okay, perfect. Here we are. So now we can create the record placeholder for this table that we just created. Yep, add the table and select the curing time. There it is. Yep, perfect. Add and add it exactly. Oh, you're fast at it now.
Are you pleased with me now?
Yeah, that's great. You're flying through it. Okay, very good. So now what we can do is we can have an input here. You can add a text input. Oh, actually, oh yeah, actually you're right. You need also a text saying work order ID. Perfect. And then also add an input of type text. Text. Okay, and then we can create a new variable here. Yeah, and we can just say work order ID. So basically now we're just assigning a variable to the text input. Okay, create it. No default, so you can just click create. Okay, very good. So now we have kind of the framework ready, and we're ready to start recording information to it. So we can add we already have it. Is this a button, the start time?
Right here?
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a button? Okay, perfect. Yep, so you can edit this one.
I already put some information in there to store the information, but I don't think I've done a.
Yeah, no, this is, so we'll need to do one thing before that. You can add a new action here. Move it up to the top. Yep, and you can go table records. Yeah, creator load. Yep, by ID, variable. Yeah, and now you can select the work order ID that you just created. Yep, into the curing time. Yep, current curing time. Perfect. And then here, instead of the time elapsed, you need to change this to the app current date and time all the way at the bottom. There it is. Yep, in location table record. Yep, and then curing time, current curing time, start time. Okay, perfect. Then you take this. Does this make sense, by the way?
Sure. And now
Yeah.
we kind of have to do the same for finish, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Well, similar, very similar. So here we'll say, okay, so we actually need to add a new condition in here. And we'll want to say, if the table record, yep, current curing time, yeah, curing start time.
Oops.
No, start time, because we need to compare it. We need to make sure that it was before 24 hours.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, is earlier than, yep. And then here we can say expression. We can't say expression. Okay, so I'm sorry, we need to change it up. So in here, you can, instead of table record, you can change it to expression. Yep. And then basically we can say, okay, yeah, click in here. And then you can do at info. Yeah. No, oh, sorry, this is app info. No, sorry. It's app. It's just app info.
I see. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's always
I'm having
hard to.
difficulty with expression
Okay.
points.
So here we go. Now, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, yep, current date and time.
David?
Yep. No, 1 second. Minus 86,000. Just put minus sign. Yeah, 86,400. And this number, this is the number of seconds in a day, because everything in here happens in seconds. So you need to convert 1 day, so 24 hours in seconds. Exactly. Now you can save this. Okay, is earlier than, and then here is where we can compare it to the start time. Table record, current curing time. Yep, start time. Okay, so here we'll need to say, scroll down. You can delete both of these actually for now. Yep, and you can add a new action, or you can just change this action actually. You can say show error. Yep, static value. Yeah, you can say curing not finished, please wait.
Save it?
Yep. Well, no, actually, we just need to do one more thing, which is actually two more things. You can add an if-then clause. So basically, this will happen if it's not been more than 24 hours. Yep. Else, you can come in here and then add a new action to this, and it will execute everything. No, new action. Sorry, Ishmael. Yeah, you can say data manipulation, store.
No, this is for saving the informations, correct?
Yeah, the end time. Exactly.
How about the start time? It's going to be stored, correct?
Yep, yeah, we did it in the earlier one, remember?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So app info. Yep, and here the very last one, current date and time. Exactly. In the table record, end time. Sorry, current curing time. end time. Yep, exactly. So this is where we're storing the current time at the end if it's been more than 24 hours.
Right. Okay. Save it.
Yep. Okay, so now we can go test it out. So if you click run. Yeah, do you have the player?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, perfect. Oh, there it comes. Exactly. So now, for example, let's try it out. If you put in a work order in here, any number you'd like, just as a test, we can then delete it. No, wait. If you go back to the tool player. Yep. If you put in, for example, any number.
Yep.
Yeah, 44. And then you click start. Okay. So great. So now let's go into the table just to make sure that the data is storing correctly. So if you click here, yep, click records.
Right here.
Yep. Yeah, actually click here.
And then
Yeah,
view.
yeah, exactly. View, and then open the table.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, yeah, okay, perfect. So you see it's stored the start time in here, which is great.
What
Now
is
if you go back,
-4?
that's the time zone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So and then if you open up the tool player again, and you try clicking, oops, finish.
It shouldn't work, correct?
It shouldn't work, right?
Great. Great.
Did you click it?
Yeah, I'm doing it. It's not working. So that's the way.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think we did it the other way around. Yeah. You mind clicking back in here? Yeah, no, we did it backwards actually. Because we should get the error message, remember? So it
Oh,
did it
yeah.
backwards.
I didn't see any
Yeah,
errors. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you open up this trigger again, yep, the finish trigger.
Mhm.
Yep. So here, instead of is earlier, is later then. Yep. Here it is. Okay, great. Now you can save this. Okay, and then go forward a couple of times to the table. Yeah, okay. Now if you go back into the tool player. Yeah, let's start with let's create a new ID. You can enter a new ID here. Yep. Put whatever number. We can delete them now. Yep, 66. Click start. Okay, and now try clicking finish. Wait, what did we do wrong? Sorry, do you mind going back to the app? I think there's something that we did wrong. Yep, you go back to the app here and you open up this trigger.
Basically, you just changed that to later. It was earlier.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. That's no, wait, should be right. And you mind scrolling down? Okay, and back up. This is strange, actually. Should be working.
Are you sure this is a static value?
Yeah, yeah, that should be a static value. It's very strange. I can't. Let me see, because that's yeah, it should be all correct. Do you mind just taking off this 86,400 just to test? Just deleting this.
Delete it?
Yeah. Yep, save this. Just to test something. Okay, click save.
So we go to,
Okay, and now, yeah, you mind opening in a new tab though, the table? You mind opening it up? Yeah, just so we have it in parallel. Yep, tables.
you want to go to tables?
Yeah, yes, please.
Yep.
Okay, and then open up the curing table. Okay, perfect. So now if you go open up the Tulip player. Yeah, do you mind just moving it, make it a little bit smaller, moving it to the side a little bit? Yeah, just so we can see.
Is this good?
It hasn't moved just yet.
Is this good?
I think your screen is frozen, Ishmael.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is good. So now, if you try pressing finish now. Oh, wait, actually, sorry, it's not good because we can't see the error messages. If you move it up just a little bit.
Now, do you want me to change the work order ID or
Oh,
just?
no, it's okay here. Yeah. Click finish.
Does it give me any error message?
Okay, that's very strange. Did you change by any chance like the time zone settings or something like that?
Not at all. I didn't touch any of those.
No. Okay. Sorry, actually, just because I just realized we have 10 minutes. I want to see if anyone has questions. I can stay on to help you out, but I just want to see if there's anyone
Okay.
that has questions. Does anyone, Ryan, Jordan, and Trey, do you have any questions?
I do not.
No. Okay.
So I have one, but it may be complicated for you.
Yeah. We can get started. Take a look at it, and then we can come back to Ishmael's question here.
So it's kind of equipment. I think I may have to use a connector to do it.
Yep.
So, let me share my screen real quick. It'll be easier.
Should I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, please. That'd be great. So Trey can share his.
All right. So what I am trying to do is pull a table record, right? But these months So these are columns in my table record, right? These to be dynamic. So I basically have, I have all of our targets.
Wait, sorry. I think Trey, we're only seeing the background here.
Switch the wrong screen. Right. So we've got our list of targets, right? This is for the year, January, February, March. And what I'm trying to do is, whenever I'm writing to this application here, eventually this will all be running in the connector that right now manually input. So we have our actual performance value. I need it to essentially go out and based on the date that we put here, and it's basically for August, I need it to go and pull this record out. But I need to find the value sitting in the August table record.
Oh, okay. And is there a reason? Oh, is there a reason why you ask for the date here instead of the month?
Well, so they're going to be putting these in daily.
Yeah.
So essentially, this is all going back to automating our LDM application, right? So we're working with Brian to, so we're going to be writing connectors that are going to bring this information in for us. I'm just trying to build the logic out prior to us getting that connector ready.
Yeah.
So we basically put all of our targets into another table, and depending on today's date, so today is the 12th. What did, how do we perform today? So when we run our connector, it pulls back 89%. Well, of course, that's under our target, right? So that would be a loss for the day. So then, our 12 over here will turn red. Problem is that I've got to get the target from our target table, and I've got the targets in a column.
Yeah. Okay. But, I mean, it's not that many. Can you do 12 if statements and say if the date contains August, then pull August, for example?
Well, what I actually have like in this button here, is I've got it pulling this and then creating the date. So it pulls that and basically separates that out and it pulls the month out. So I get that number. But where I'm having the issue is okay, well, I need to go find what this value is sitting in this table record for August. So would I need to write a connector for that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you could.
Because
But
I basically kind of what I tried to do at first was, let's look up table record, right? Target, and I need August in this case. I need that to be dynamic, depending on the month.
yeah. So in here, you can put, for example, a condition where that variable that you created earlier, you say, yeah, add a new condition. If what's the variable that you created with that stores like the one letter?
It looks like it's a month in lowercase because it's an integer in this case.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, if the variable, yeah, month, exactly. So we start with January, which is that value, integer 1. Then you do what you were doing earlier, data manipulation, store. Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, because it's just 12, I mean, it doesn't take that long. I think it's faster than creating a connector. You can, if you were to create a connector, you can do it dynamically, but I think if I were you, I would just do it this way.
Okay. No, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Ray. And if I find, because there was an article in the community about this that I thought was quite interesting. If I find it, I'll send it over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so now Ishmael, we can go back to you real quick if you'd like. Have you made any progress by any chance?
No, really. I'm just waiting to see if we can find a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it, Trey, or did you have other questions?
Basically, that was it.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, sorry. I was asking Trey because so if you want to
Oh,
share, start sharing your question again, can you share your screen now, Ishmael? You have that option. Okay. Yep. If you sign in. Yeah. If you sign in here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, Ishmael, do you mind making this a little bit smaller? Just because, like, if you grab the corner there, yeah, exactly. Just make it smaller and make it fit the window. That would be great. Yeah, well, actually, just move it up as well. Do you mind if I take control of the screen? Oh, Ishmael, can you hear me? Ishmael, I think you're muted. Oh, oh, hello, Ishmael.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay, now we can. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have the control?
No, don't. Oh, yes, I do. I do. Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
yes, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. So now if I just move this over a little bit, okay, let's start. Let's enter a new work order ID 1. Click start. Click finish. Okay. So I think I know what the problem was. You
I
might
think it was showing it down, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. It was showing it down. So that's why, like, and I can't control this. Well,
Want me
maybe.
to do it?
Yeah, if you don't mind making it a little bit smaller, like removing that bottom part. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So this way you're sure that the error message shows. But now, so now with that, we can come back in here, take a look at this trigger and make sure that it's back to correct. Yeah.
You may want to add that 8,000 seconds or whatever.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah. So I think it was actually 2 things. So let's see. I think it should be earlier than. Yeah. Whoops. I'm sorry. Okay. So now it did store it. So it's actually later than. Okay. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna go ahead and make it is later than.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Okay. Perfect. We're gonna open up the table. Okay. So now if you do a new one, let's do 2. Let's start it now. Oh no, what? It is earlier than. Sorry,
Yeah, that makes more sense. It should be, if it's earlier than that 8,000 whatever seconds, then it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, let me see. Did we put this correct?
let me just do it on my cell phone. Just see. 24 hours times 60 times. Yeah, your number is correct. Oh,
The number
actually,
is- Sure.
6,400. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this should be correct. I do have to run. Ishmael, is Virag coming back? Do you mind reviewing this? I think it's just something very simple, but do you mind reviewing this with him when he's
No
on
problem.
site?
Sure,
Yeah?
no problem.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I would have liked to solve this, but I do need to run.
That's okay. Gio, you've been helpful this far. I'll take care of the rest. Hopefully.
Okay, okay, that's great to hear.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Yep, thank you. Thanks everyone, and we'll see everyone soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.